Here we go.
Got everything?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Here, honey. An offering for the king.
See you later, Mom.
Listen to your teacher, okay? And, give the king my best.
Dance with an angel, Mom.
Yeah. Maybe we'll tango today instead of waltz.
That's our way of saying goodbye. My husband is an Air Force pilot and refers to fighter planes as angels. When he'd go on a mission that kept him away from home, I'd tell him in frustration to go dance with his angels. Matilda grew up hearing this, and now she uses it all the time. There's a nice view of the King's Bridge from our house. That iron giant is the pride of Grace Maria, our capital city. In the old quarter of the city beyond the bridge, you can make out an ancient castle, which is even more famous than the bridge. My daughter Matilda is going there on a field trip today. In the throne room rests the Golden King. He's been smiling for a good 600 years now. The king was a gentle person who was a bit on the small side, but he crafted a giant suit of armor that convinced his enemies to surrender without a single fight. Afterwards, they found such warmth in his smile that they bowed down to him in humility. Anyway, that's how the story goes. His smiling face still touches the hearts of our people. The very face my daughter and the others got on a bus to see this morning.
That was a brand new day.
The song on the radio seems to be a perfect match for the sunny weather.
Radio's taking all of your favorite requests.
I have no idea what's happening. That awful sound and the shaking. Was that a blast of wind from an explosion? The castle disappeared behind a pillar of flame.
Attention all pilots. Our capital city, Grace Maria, is under attack. Damage from the attacks is widespread throughout all planes. Scramble and intercept all threats immediately.
Garuda team, time to take off.
They took out King's Bridge! Who's attacking? What the hell is going on? Control, get those planes up fast! Roger that. Preparing for takeoff. I want a damage assessment now! We've taken extensive damage from those bombers, including a number of civilian casualties! What's going on with the bombers? We can't hold out much longer. What? cleared for takeoff. Don't get overeager. Just do what you always do. Garuda 1 liftoff. Cerberus team runway clearance granted. Takeoff when ready. All aircraft under airborne command's jurisdiction following takeoff. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Airborne warning and control system ghost eye to all scrambling defense craft. The situation has not yet been ascertained. We must implement an emergency reformation. Follow your individual instructions. Garuda 1, you do not have a wingman. Let's see. Shamrock. Shamrock, are you alone too? Very well. As of now, you're Garuda 2.
Okay. So I'm Garuda 2. Garuda 1, I've got your back. No time for introductions now, though. Go ahead and I'll follow your lead. Never was good with directions anyhow.
Garuda team, you are authorized to engage any hostile aircraft above Grace Maria.
Roger that. May the Golden King smile upon us.
Ghost Eye to Garuda 1 Talisman and Garuda 2 Shamrock. We are currently in a state of emergency. Our nation is under attack by unknown forces. Do whatever you can to fend off the invasion.
Garuda 2, roger that. Garuda 1, you call the shots.
This is Commander Windhopper of the 15th Squadron. The enemy is expanding its field of attack. Stay alert.
Garuda 1, there's too many of them. Use your SP weapon.
Anderson's hit.
All ships to terminate enemy forces over the bay. Get those anti-air guns ready for battle.
I'll take care of this one. Focus all anti-aircraft fire on those bombers. Don't let them get any closer. We interrupt this program for an emergency news report. Grace Maria is currently under attack by unidentified aircraft. The damage apparently extends throughout the entire capital.
Please be safe.
We've got an ID on the invaders. We're engaged with the Astovakian military.
The Estovakians? Confirmed. Their economy's been in shambles for years. Looks like they finally snapped. Get him! Hey, Ray,
The Estovakian threat level has been reduced. You should be able to hold out against them.
Garuda 1, we've almost got them. Let's do this one plane at a time.
Our runway's been bombed to hell! It's totally useless now! Looks like the stones are running out of steam. Had enough, boys? Enemy tanks have made it to the ground and they're coming at us. They're engaged.
We survive.
So those bastards think they can barge into someone's house without even calling first.
Unbelievable. I say we teach them a few manners before we kick them out.
The bridge! The bridge is down! Calm down and give me a sit rep. Which bridge are we talking about? Nice work. Take care of as many of those tanks as you can while they're up in the air. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. An intense ground war is taking place in these districts. We strongly urge all citizens of Grace Maria to stay indoors at this time. That's what I like to hear. Our Air Force is holding down the enemy. Keep it up.
The Estovakian threat level is even lower now. Drive them out of Ameria. Enemy plane...
Icon to Strigan team. We are prepared to launch.
Strigan leader to Agayan. We will commence mission operations once your delivery is complete.
Attention all aircraft. We are ready for Nimbus launch. Begin the countdown. Booster ignition complete. Launch in 5, 4, 3, 2,
team back. Finish them off.
What's this? Missiles?
Number 3, your radio's down. Number 3, where are you? Somebody cruise missiles detected in midair. Half our planes have been wiped off the radar.
What the hell was that? Where are they coming from?
Enemy cruise missile incoming.
Those are no ordinary cruise missiles. Evade like hell if you want out of this alive.
Damn it! What about our city? What about Grace Maria?
The Slovakians succumbed. Do they plan on destroying Grace Maria?
Hey, I'm on your side. Isn't your IFF working?
Warning, additional enemy planes have been spotted on radar. You don't want to know how many.
This is Striker 12. Target acquired. Moving to engage. Calling all civilian planes. Grace Maria shall be ours. What's happening? Roger.
A large-scale explosion has apparently occurred in midair. No further details as yet. I repeat.
Which direction are the missiles coming from? Right or left?
This is Ghost Eye to all planes. Air Defense Command has ordered an evacuation. You've been ordered to give up Grace Maria. Break away from this airspace and head west.
Are you out of your mind? We can't comply with that order.
We are militarily at a huge disadvantage. Comply with the order and head west.
This is Avalanche. We're not going anywhere.
Listen! It's only temporary. The plan is to withdraw, meet up with all remaining forces from each area, then regroup for a counterattack. We can't afford to lose you. Follow the order.
This is Garuda 2 to Garuda 1. We really should get out of here.
Target kill confirmed. That's it, Pusher. Looking good. We're going to sweep that area under the rug.
Garuda team, you're about to exit the combat zone. Maintain your course west to leave the airspace.
I can't figure these guys out. Missile man, where the hell is it?
Okay, Shamrock, roger that. I'm on the attack.
Pull out now. All engines full speed.
Garuda team, you've made it out of the combat zone. Head for the rendezvous point.
I promise we'll be back for you. Just a little longer. I promise.
Ghost Eye to Garuda 1 Talisman and Garuda 2 Shamrock. We are currently in a state of emergency. Our nation is under attack by unknown forces. Do whatever you can to fend off the invasion.
Garuda 2, roger that. Garuda 1, you call the shots.
This is Commander Windhover of the 15th Squadron. The enemy is expanding its field of attack. Stay alert.
Garuda 1, there's too many of them. Use your SP weapon.
Evacuate these people.
Anderson's hit. Medic!
All ships determining enemy forces over the bay. Get those anti-air guns ready for battle.
I'll take care of this one. Focus all anti-aircraft fire on those bombers. Don't let them get any closer.
We interrupt this program for an emergency missile. Grace Maria is currently under attack by unidentified aircraft. The damage apparently extends throughout the entire capital.
Please be safe.
We've got an ID on the invaders. We're engaged with the Estovakian military.
The Estovakians? Kill confirmed. Their economy's been in shambles for years. Looks like they finally snapped. Get in! Get right
got him. Let's do this one plane at a time.
Our runway's being bombed to hell! It's totally useless now! Looks like the stove's still running out of steam. Had enough, boys?
Our military has, but our capital, Grace Maria, has been temporary, and our central, the nation of. In response, unanimously adopted a resolution of open war against the Federal Republic of Estovakia. Once our intelligence has been sorted and the beautiful.
Fire and smoke rises from the city before me. The King's Bridge is gone. Oh no. No!
Matilda!
I vaguely hear a scream of terror that sounds much like my own voice from afar. I feel as though the Golden King's gentle smile is moving farther away from me. Every now and then, I tell my daughter the story of the night some years ago. A night when the sky was radiant with shooting stars. That night, your father and I made countless wishes together. An asteroid called Ulysses came into Earth's orbit and disintegrated into millions of pieces, which poured down on the land below. As we watched the shooting stars that night, fragments from the asteroid rained down on our eastern neighbor, Estovakia, damaging a great deal of their infrastructure and devastating their economy. Soon after, the news reported that their nation had fallen into a civil war, one that would last for years. Eventually, the internal strife was brought to an end when the generals came into power. In the midst of hardship, the citizens of Estovakia were convinced that the only way they could recover as a nation was to rely on a military government led by these generals. Before long, they went so far as to invade our nation, the Republic of Ameria. Our military was forced to retreat to Kesid, an island far to the west. My husband, a fighter pilot, also hasn't come home since. I walk on. I am unable to think. All I can do is follow the others. Ever since we came to the twisted remains of my daughter's school bus, my soul has left me. I am empty. Some of our tanks are parked at the approach to the bridge.
Let's pick up the pace, people! There's a train still running on the other side of the river. She goes all the way out to the edge of the border. We've got to blast this bridge before the enemy gets a hold of it. So move it or lose it, people!
Here I see the wreckage of a jet that was shot down. On what's left of the nose, I can make out some writing. Melissa. It's my name. What a cruel twist of fate for me to see this. My pilot husband, who had left for work that day with the same loving look on his face as always. He had painted my name on his angel. I go into the crowd on the train and endure 2 weeks of pure hell. before finally ending up at a refugee camp at the border. I don't know any of the names on the list. My compatriots, who have now become refugees, gather around a single radio to listen to the broadcast. Even though the station is broadcasting out of Grace Maria, occupying forces have taken complete control of the airwaves. The enemy must have completely overtaken our capital, Grace Maria.
And although newer parts of the city have suffered considerable damage, the castle and a significant section of the old quarter have escaped relatively unscathed.
The castle's okay.
However,
Thank God.
the announcer went on to say that our castle was robbed of countless antiquities that once were elaborately displayed in our castle. Stripped bare.
As the Estovakian military, it is our sworn duty to govern this crumbling nation and get it back on its feet, starting right here in Grace Maria. I found a group of street children in front of the central station here, where the area has literally been reduced to a slum. Step on up here, little girl. What do you have to say about all this?
Go dance with the angels, mister.
My ears were not deceiving me. That voice belonged to my daughter, Matilda.
I am Lieutenant Colonel Wojciech of the Estovakian Air Force. I arrived on a train to Grace Maria. To my detriment, I sustained a leg injury in the early stages of the war, relegating me to ground duty. I am now working as an intelligence officer for the Air Force. The ceiling has collapsed in the central station. From there, the city appears resigned to its fate beneath the Estovakian flag. What a pitiful sight. But at least there are no craters to mar the land. They are lucky in that sense.
Dance with the angels.
There goes my spare clothing. They will not be so lucky with these documents. What a miserable city this must be, with their children in such a state. The fine works of art, once displayed in this castle, were completely gone before the occupation forces arrived. Even the ancient armor of the Golden King, the collective heart and soul of the city's people, along with the crown, have disappeared without a trace. I must relay this unfortunate information back to the generals in my country. They were quite fond of those antiquities.
A large-scale formation of Estevak is heading toward Vitose, a city here on the island of Kesed. The enemy bomber air units are to cooperate. An enemy takeover of Vitose would mean the ultimate